Jason Dufner is a man of the people, but with 3 career PGA Tour victories, including a major championship, his talent on the golf course sets him apart. But why is it that Dufner has captured the hearts of golf fans around the world, even before the Dufnering craze? Well, we go to the source.
I grew up in South Florida. Used to go to the Honda Classic at Weston Hills. Used to work the range, kind of like I'm doing right now. Used to watch you hit balls.
Is that
way
right?
Back then, yep.
How old were you then?
14, 15, 16, just started playing golf, and kind of where I got my start in the game actually is watching you guys play in the early to mid 90s. That swing hasn't changed much.
Hey, that was a good shot too.
Back when I started playing, the only way I could get real information about good golfers was from television or going to tour events. So I had to learn by watching, other players that were good at it. So I tried to think about who the best players were, who I thought were great players during that time period, maybe time periods before, and just try to learn as much as I can and absorb about the game of golf, because I think you can't stop learning with the game of golf. I feel like the more you immerse yourself into the game, the more you learn.
Now one of the best players in the world, Dufner was a late bloomer. He didn't really start playing golf until he was 14 and received no scholarship offers to play collegiately. Undeterred, he walked on at Auburn University.
I've heard from one of your ex-college roommates who's with us today that you didn't have a scholarship when you came to Auburn.
Yep.
You just gonna walk on here.
Just gonna walk on and see if I could do it.
See if you could do it.
When I first started and I didn't play good in high school events, I committed to getting better. I'd play good. When I didn't have a college scholarship, I committed to walking on. I got good enough. So I just felt like it was just going to keep continuing that way. Maybe that was a little naive at the time, but I think self-belief, confidence, the mental aspect of golf really gives me a nice edge to be competitive now in professional game.
And we got Jonathan Dismute, who was at school with Jason and now is the coach at my alma mater, University of Houston.
When I showed up here in 1999, Jason was a mentor of mine. He was a senior, he was an All-American, and he was somebody that I looked up to. It's been great to see what he's accomplished. He always had a really, really good game and always worked hard at it. He told me, very bluntly that in 5 years he'd be a top 20 player in the world.
Wasn't quite 5.
It wasn't quite 5.
10.
Took 10.
But leaving that chipping green that day, I didn't have any doubt that he didn't believe he was going to be a great player. That was just one example of several conversations, and I think if you're going to reach that level, obviously you have to have a tremendous skill set, but it's kind of a chicken or the egg. I mean, if you don't have the skill set right then, you have to have the self-belief that you're going to acquire it.
Just a lot of confidence came from knowing that I was working hard, that an open mind to getting better, to thinking that I wasn't good enough, whatever level I was at. And it always seemed like when I committed to that, to try to get better, to take my game to another level, I could do it. So that gave me a lot of confidence, that gave me a lot of self-belief. The way I am is the way I grew up and what I come from. And I think that made me a better golfer in some aspects. It made me tougher. It made me appreciate the good things. And it made me work harder to have those good things, because I didn't want to go back to working a 9 to 5. I wanted to play the PGA Tour.
Why do you think people like you so much?
I think the everyday golf fan can identify with me. I kind of look like them a little bit. I might act like them a little bit. I feel like I could be one of the guys that's in their Saturday group and then have a couple beers afterwards. So I think it's a little bit refreshing for that golf fan, that specific type, and people seem to enjoy what I do out there. And I think I stay true to myself, which I think gains a lot of popularity.